The BBC has yet another report about children racking up debt for their parents because they were playing video games and didn't realise these video games were designed to psychologically manipulate them into spending more money. The lead story on this one is a lad with learning difficulties who managed to spend an obscene amount of money playing an iPad game called Hidden Artifacts, managing to spend over the course of a few months over £3,000 on it. £3,160 to be more precise.
Let's just do one thing. Pounds to dollars. Okay, so £1 sterling, 300,160. That's $4,000, guys. Just so everybody understands, I don't know. Yeah, that's $4,000. You know? That's a lot of fucking money. That's basically a car.
£3,160, 58 new pence, to be more precise.
Okay.
If you weren't convinced of the shittiness of this situation, then I think the 58p's really going to seal it for you.
Yeah.
This story comes hot off the heels of a previous BBC article about a bunch of kids cleaning their parents' bank account out because they were playing FIFA. And before we go any further...
Okay, number one. All right, let's go over here. For children, if emptying your bank account means that they spent $500, man, you need to figure out how to get a better job, dude. That's not fucking good. That is not fucking good at all. It's like you'd think if you only had $500 in your bank account, you would do a better job to make sure that your kids don't fucking spend that money on video game characters. $500 bank account, yeah, I know. Yeah, they should stream, obviously.
Playing FIFA. And before we go any further, there are always people who chime in with, well, isn't it the parents' responsibility? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But at the same time, this is a responsibility a parent shouldn't have. A parent shouldn't have to think about protecting their wallet from the video game they bought for their child. And while you or I may be knee-deep in the video game industry, we know what it's like, we know what's in many of these video games, the idea of some harmless game for kids having the ability to clean out a bank account is such an abstract concept,
Well, it's fucking ridiculous. Number one, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous that can happen. Like, I feel like at a certain point, I don't know... The parent should watch what their kids are doing. Yeah, I mean, the parent needs to watch what their kids are doing. Like, at a certain point, like, if you only have $500 in your bank account, you can't afford to have a kid. Like, don't have kids if you can't pay for the kids. And not that spending $500 a week on FIFA is what you need to do to pay for a kid. But I don't like this idea of never criticizing people's very, very clear bad life decisions. And then saying, oh, well, if you criticize and you say, yeah, if you only have $500 in your account, you should try to do something better with your life. This is not me punching down. This is a fucking fact. Like, I don't like how it's shameful for people to say that people should try to do more than what they're doing. Like before, whenever I didn't have any fucking money, I was going to college. I was trying to do something. Like, if you can't do anything like that, then you shouldn't have a fucking kid because you can't take care of it. Like, I don't know what to say about that. People just get their fucking feelings hurt, try to act like these moral arbiters, and rationalize the consistent bad decisions that people make. At a certain point, where is the responsibility of the individual? Where does the individual come in and you say, maybe this is your fault that you're in this situation? I think that if you only have $500 in your bank account and your kid is spending all of your money on FIFA coins, then yes, obviously EA, they're bad. But there's a certain point where that's kind of your fucking fault.
Not surprised, many parents don't think about it. They know by now to think and worry about graphic content, but not psychologically manipulative, addiction-fueled microtransaction content. If a parent buys a video game with guns and screaming demons on the cover, then yeah, they shouldn't be too surprised if the video game winds up too violent for their child.
That's about right.
If a parent buys a football game based on FIFA, which is supposedly for kids 3 and up, and they don't know exactly how bad the gambling mechanics in video games have got these days, then sorry, I retain quite a bit of sympathy for that parent. Because as used to it as we've gotten, the idea of these perpetual randomized purchases is so fucking stupid. Of course the average customer hasn't thought about it. Why would they stop to consider that the football game for their kids has gambling in it, for God's sake? And while these stories, unfortunately, have come at the quite literal...
I feel like a lot of people that have, like, young kids, I don't know, I think that at a certain point, like, you probably should fucking know that. Like, it's like, I didn't know it was this bad. I didn't, but I had a general idea. And I think most people that are around my age probably have a general idea. And, like, unless you're over, like, 50 years old, there's no fucking excuse to not at least have an idea about what's going on in, like, technology like this. They actually have jobs, though? Well, it doesn't matter. It's not advertised as a gambling game. Well, it's not a gambling game. There's a gambling component to it. The game's rated ages 3 years and up. Well, that's why you start them early. Because if you have them gambling at 3 years old, by the time that they turn 10, they're already to use their entire mom's savings account to buy a fucking FIFA roster. I mean, it just goes there, all right? I love it, man. $400. No, I mean, like, the truth is, this is the way that it's going to go. It's always going to go this way. I think that the point where I think that it should stop, in my opinion, is random boxes. I don't like random boxes. I think buying different items directly is okay. But the random boxes, that's too much for me. Pretty much saying just get a better job, forehead. What is there no personal responsibility? Is there literally no personal responsibility? It's literally impossible for somebody to improve their situation at all. And so any situation that they are part of is the best that they can ever do. And you should never look and say, maybe you should try harder to be in a better position. Listen, for 99% probably of people that are in that position, I know plenty of them because I grew up with them. The reason why they're in a bad position is because they were lazy in school, they did nothing, they don't try at all, and that's the way it goes. How do I know that? Because I was in school with them. They're working at Walmart now, and they fuck off at Walmart, they sit there on their phones, and they don't care. That's the truth. Get mad all you want.
Cost of families, thank God they're getting out there so at last people can be educated on a wider scale. In a manner similar to the video we published called The Addictive Cost of Predatory Video Game Monetization, the BBC has a number of testimonials from people who have been affected by recurrent user spending in video games. While we spoke to vulnerable adults with shopping addictions and problem gambling issues, the BBC article provides testimonials from parents whose kids accidentally cost them a fuck ton of money because of these games. So here's the lead story from the article. My son spent £3,160 in one game.
Here we go.
I have a 22-year-old disabled son who has cerebral palsy, complex epilepsy, autism, learning difficulties, and the approximate cognitive ability of a 7-year-old child. He is unable to do any bilateral activities, so relies heavily on his iPad and PlayStation for entertainment and educational activities. He has recently been playing a game on his iPad called Hidden Artifacts, which involves finding various items and matching them to the description. He has been charged £3,160.58 between 18th of February and 30th of May 2019, clearing out his entire savings. I contacted iTunes, who were extremely helpful but were unable to refund the amount, and suggested I contact Blastworks Limited, the app developer and game provider. I have phoned and emailed several times but have had no response. It is
I think in my opinion for this, right, the way they need to solve this problem is they need to create some sort of like a law. You know how like cars have like the lemon law, where like if you buy a car and then it breaks down within like a short period of time, you can just return the car 100%. They need to do the same thing with like these microtransaction things. And this is what parents could deal with, right? Is if you had a thing to where it doesn't matter what your kid buys or anything like that, you can return and just like completely negate that within like a 24 or 72 hour period. That, I mean, if they want to do any sort of legislation, that seems like the smartest way of approaching it. Yeah, I mean, a regulation needs to regulate. Yeah, I mean, is that a bad idea? Parental controls, the lemon law is a California only law. Okay, well, that's still the same point that I'm making. I mean, it's an example of something and them just doing that the same way. Regulation, well, of course things should be regulated because people are too stupid to think for themselves and need the government to protect them. Like, what do you mean? Like, of course they are. Like, I'm sorry, but that's the whole reason. Like, yeah, they're too stupid to think for themselves and need the government to protect them. Of course. Regulations are 100% needed. Yeah, they are. And what a moron. Yeah, I'm sure. But here's the thing, man. Is like this is the way that I think they should take it. I don't know, McConnell, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like the best idea. Just make it to where they have it to like a 72-hour period or like a period of time after you buy the microtransactions that you can refund all of them and it's okay. I think that game developers should have that. And it's to prevent things like this from happening. And it wouldn't be an issue, right? It wouldn't be an issue if people, if they didn't have the random boxes. Defending EA for taking advantage of a disabled person. Wow, you should make a Reddit thread about that.
Extremely distressing that vulnerable people such as my son become victims of what is thought to be an educational game. I have tried tirelessly to recoup his life savings but constantly come up against a brick wall.
Yep.
I won't read out all of the stories in the article, they all pretty much hit the same points, but...
It's the parents' fault. Don't blame the company for their mistake. Yes and no. It's like ultimately it's their fault. And this is where like the regulation and stuff comes in. I've always believed that, like I used to scam people out of stuff in WoW all the time, right? I used to do this constantly. And one thing that I've learned is that most people they fall for things really easily, right? They get scammed really, really easily. It doesn't take a lot to confuse and trick somebody into giving you money. It's actually a lot simpler than you might imagine. They're very naive. I don't do it anymore because now I'm not scamming them because they know they're not getting shit out of it. The difference with this, in my opinion, is the fact that number one, it's targeting kids, and so kids are doing it. And then also, like if kids are doing it and you can prove that your kid is doing it, for example, your kid shouldn't even be able to make the transaction to begin with, because don't you have to be a certain age to make the transaction? So if the kid makes the transaction, then it would be an invalid transaction to begin with, I would assume, right? Because you're using the card. And this is like more like legal stuff, so I can't really say to begin with. But yeah, that seems like it's true. Yes, it is ultimately the parent's fault. But to be realistic, this is the same thing that I was saying before, right? About like preventing kids from like seeing pornography. Everybody knows that every fucking kid out there knows how, they've got, as I said, like fucking, what was it? 6 different VPNs, they've got network blockers, they've got, proxies that they're using so they can look at porn on their smartphone in the bathroom in middle school, okay? Like, they're going to figure out a way to do this because this is just what kids do. Like, I used to be a kid, we were all kids, some of you guys are kids now. This is what we used to do and what you guys do now. It's just the way that it goes. 22 isn't a kid, what the fuck? I'm not talking about 22. Someone says a catch-22, that's what I was referring to. Those laws already exist. They just need to include video games. Yeah, there you go. You had a smartphone as a kid? No, because I didn't grow up in that age, right? But in this age, yeah, I'd have a smartphone as a kid. Well, I wouldn't because my mom wouldn't be able to afford it. But the kids, like a middle-class kid, yeah, probably has a smartphone. I would say most kids whose parents make a combined of like $60,000 plus a year, those kids probably have a smartphone.
Here's one titled, "He was completely inconsolable. I installed Mini Golf King on my phone for my son who is 5. He knows he's not allowed to spend money in games, yet this game successfully tricked him into spending £300 on in-app purchases."
I guarantee you, dude, that 5-year-old already fucking knows what he's doing. He's like, oh, they tricked me, Mom. I didn't know what happened. Meanwhile, he's clicking that fucking $3 button all goddamn day. Mom's complaining about this shit. She's mad. He knew, dude. He fucking knew. How do I know that? Because I would do some kind of snake ass shit like that as a kid too. I remember I would play Gauntlet in Chuck E. Cheese and I would shoot other people's food. The original Gauntlet, I would shoot their food, and I was so young that they thought it was an accident, but it fucking wasn't. Okay? Like 5-year-olds aren't just like, they know. A lot of them, they fucking know what they're doing. And they're like, oh, Mom, they tricked me into spending the money. I'm a victim. Please give me a hug and take me to McDonald's and buy me ice cream. No, they fucking knew it, okay? 100%, dude.
Fortunately, my card issuer blocked some of the transactions, but a purchase for £75 went through, along with a few smaller ones. When my son realised that he'd spent real money, he was completely inconsolable, saying he was so sorry for being naughty and he thought they were pretend coins. My refund request via Google Play was automatically rejected. My refund request via Google Play was automatically rejected. I explained that my son is autistic and his disability makes him vulnerable. He doesn't really understand the concept of being manipulated, and he wouldn't necessarily understand why people who make games want money. Google said I should contact...
The kid's got autism and he's like disabled. Yeah, maybe it's actually not bullshit. Okay, maybe it's not. But an average kid, right? At least like maybe like, I don't know, some kids, yeah, they know what they're doing.
Mini Golf King, which said it did not generally refund in-app purchases once the purchased items had been used. It offered to delete the account and submit a refund case to the store from which the purchases had been made, but said this would be non-reversible. I've heard nothing since. People will say, well, you should be supervising him. I was in the room, but the game is a children's game rated PEGI 3, suitable for players aged 3 and above. I would allow him to watch a U-rated film, and I assumed PEGI 3 games were safe to play with casual supervision. Yeah, you would. Most parents would. Our son spent £700 on Clash of Clans. This happened to us a few years ago when we were very new to all this. We are technically savvy but didn't think to put a password on, and my son, who was 12, ended up spending around £700. It was on his own phone and he managed to download Clash of Clans through a Google Play account, enter his own children's bank card details, and buy lots of in-game items. We didn't realise until we checked his bank statement and it was virtually empty.
Listen, bro, dude, if your kid's got a bank statement, it's 12 years old, $700 isn't a big deal to you at all. Like, let's be honest. Like, I didn't have a bank account whenever I was 12. What the fuck are you talking about? A bank account at 12. This is some rich-ass family, some kid dog. Like, I mean, imagine this, right? Like, what is assumed into this, okay? Number one, that he's got a children's bank account details. He already knows about it. Number two, that he's getting bank statements that his parents review regularly. So he's making purchases independent of his parents' discretion. And number three, he's got a smartphone to fucking begin with at age 12. But yeah, $700. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. I can guarantee you this. They can pay for it, okay? Like, not any better, but it's just to put this into context. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Play WoW already? Yeah. We'll do that after this. My parents stayed my bank account at 8, and I mowed lawns to fill it. I guess nowadays it might be different, but back in the day, I didn't have a fucking bank account. Yeah, 20 years ago, I was mowing lawns for $5. It was actually about 10. Yeah, I do it for like 10 or like I'd start maybe like 15, then go down to 10. And yeah, I had a lawnmower. My friends would go around and we'd try to save up money to buy a hot dog at 7-Eleven, dude. Okay, let's go with the rest of this. First bank account. Kids shouldn't have money. Yeah, don't give your kid $700. Like, don't give your kid a bank account. Like, why don't they have a limit on the kid's bank account? Like, I feel like, I mean, like a 12-year-old should have like lower than a $700 spending limit on a bank account. You know, I mean, like, I'm sorry, but like, is this $500 was a lot? Yeah, it was. Don't give kids a debit card. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, I feel like a lot of these stories and everything, they're completely independent of, I guess, like any sort of responsibility. Because I can understand people that have a gambling addiction, right? But it's like the parents should prevent that kind of shit from happening. Like, you should expect that your kid's going to do stupid shit. If you don't expect that your kid's going to do stupid shit with a bank account card, then that's a stupid tax. And the dumber you are about it, the more you pay. And today, the price was $700.
He did not realise the connection, that it was real money leaving his bank account. We never got our money back, apart from a token amount as a gesture of goodwill. There are lots of other stories here as well. My boy spent almost £1,000 on Fortnite. Our daughter's free trial for an app cost £93. Yep. Basketball game cost our family £2,000. Many of these games are found on a basketball phones, game. The mobile market being where the mainstream AAA video game industry has been getting a lot of its monetization ideas. Phones have become ubiquitous. They're basically an essential part of modern life these days. People around my age balk at the idea of kids having phones. I know I do. But I think that's largely because I am getting part of the older generation and things have changed. Things have moved on. Everyone has a phone, and this unfettered access that video video game companies have
Blizzard.
to not just children, but anyone who can be psychologically manipulated, anyone in a vulnerable position, is pretty bloody insidious, and it's something that video game companies have been exploiting for years now. Not just on phones, increasingly on PC and console as well. This constant 24/7 online access that these video game publishers want gives them all of the time and all of the access they need to dig their little claws inside people's brains. The mobile market has been perfecting this, and they know what they're doing. They boast about it in little speeches.
Dude, at some point we need to watch that that lecture that guy did. Remember that scammer, the European guy that did like the whole lecture on like how to scam people out of stuff in mobile games? We need to fucking do it. We're not going to do it today. But we'll do it probably like tomorrow or some shit. 100%, man. 100%. Yeah, well, remind me to watch that tomorrow and we'll do it. Whaling?
They give to each other. We revealed one such talk on that predatory monetization video we did. Okay. This recurrent user spending that the video game industry loves so much is wholly predatory, completely exploitative. And there are still people in other areas of games media that tell me that I'm being hyperbolic when I say that. They've been dismissing my arguments for years. But more and more we're seeing that all of that dismissal is a little more than propaganda that helps companies get away with what they're doing because they expect people to not take it seriously. They expect problem gamblers and shopping addicts to be laughed at and derided and ignored. And they use that ignorance to portray such people as whales.
At a certain point, I think that what he's saying is true. But I do think that there should be an element of personal responsibility. There are a lot of people who spend a bunch of money because they're compulsive and they have no self-control. They're not all gamblers with addictions and autistic children. They're compulsive idiots with no self-control. And is it the government's responsibility to make sure that they don't spend money? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really think so. But the thing is, if they create... I think that what they need to do, as I said before, they need to remove the random boxes and make a law to where if you spend money on something, you have like a 24 or 72-hour window to refund all of it. Like, that's the only two things I think they should do, and this problem would be solved, like 90% of it would be solved.
Spenders who just love their video game purchases so gosh dang much. They expect 100% of the responsibility to be on the customer, regardless of the context, regardless of that individual user's vulnerabilities and circumstances. I am still receiving testimonials from people. I've got enough for maybe 2 more videos, maybe 3.
That's content, boys.
People who are cognizant of their own responsibility in all this, and as a result have had to stop playing a bunch of video games, because if they do get into a game with stuff like loot boxes in them, it may cause a relapse in their gambling addiction, and that shouldn't be the fucking case with video games, with escapist entertainment. I look at what's gone into some of these video games now, just how unchecked the exploitation in them is, and it makes me so genuinely fucking furious.
Boy, dude.
Men like Andrew House who come out to defend their gambling mechanics, defend their, what EA calls their surprise mechanics.
Surprise.
Wankers like Bobby Kotick over at Activision.
It's like you open up the box and you don't get what you want. Surprise, you just wasted $5. Surprise. Do it again, idiot. And you just keep wasting your fucking time. It's insane.
Blitz, just any of these executives who perpetuate and defend these sinister little microtransactions in their video games, they should all be completely ashamed of themselves. But they're not. They don't care. They're just doing their jobs. Well, their jobs hurt people.
What is this video here? What is this? I'd make a fat joke, but I'm gonna be a nice guy today, okay? It's a surprise mechanic.
Well, their jobs hurt people. They hurt people. Straight up. Andrew House, your job is to hurt people for money. That's what it's become. That's what you've become.
Damn.
As I've said many times before, I'm not laser-focused on how this affects children per se. Certainly, when I've talked to people affected by microtransactions, I've talked to adults with various issues. Many of those issues reflecting my own circumstances, which makes this a bit of a personal sting. But I will reiterate what I said in response to the last BBC article about this. These games should not be rated PEGI 3. They should not be rated for kids aged 3 and up. EA's response when it's called out on kids overspending in FIFA is to throw out little guidelines, little spending caution notes for parents. And if you've got to do that, if you've got to warn parents about how to protect their children from your video game simply, literally isn't suitable for children. Is it? Your little surprise mechanics
it is kind of paradoxical.
Work in exactly the same way as gambling. They use the same psychological tools as gambling. They should be expected to adhere to the same guidelines and protections. And that would include not rating your parasitic garbage as suitable for kids aged 3 and up. So far, PEGI and the ESRB have not taken these concerns seriously whatsoever, which long-term, as I've argued many times in the past, again, for years, may very well fuck the industry up later on when someone else decides they're going to step in and do the ESRB and PEGI's job for them. We've already seen a lot of legislative interest in the US and various places in Europe.
That's exactly
We've seen politicians start asking questions about the effects of loot boxes. Your old pal Jim Sterling, the Cassandra of video games, said it was all coming. We're here, we're seeing a lot of chickens come home to roost, and whether or not the game industry...
You know, this guy feels so fucking good because he's been talking about this shit forever, and now it's finally happening. And he's like the old crazy guy whenever there's an apocalypse moving, and he's like, I fucking knew it was gonna happen, and like Yellowstone's erupting behind him and everybody dies, but he gets to die knowing that he was right and everybody knows that he's right.
Finds a way to wriggle itself out of this. At least we're finally seeing some of these companies have to answer for themselves, have to straight out justify what they're doing, and they're embarrassed.
They seem like that. Look at these faces, man. It's like they're looking back at like pictures from their middle school prom. You know, and what they looked like in middle school prom. Like that's the best way that I can describe the expressions on their face. They're fucking embarrassed. Absolutely fucking embarrassed. They know.
Embarrassing themselves in the process, like we saw when EA tried to pass off surprise mechanics as a thing. Whenever these companies are asked outright to justify their business practices, they humiliate themselves because they can't. They cannot really justify them. And since these companies feel absolutely no shame, at the very least, I'll take their fucking embarrassment. Because that's what this period of video games is. That's what this generation and the tail end of the last generation has been for video games. A fucking embarrassment.
Hey. So the parents were not pleasantly surprised by the surprise mechanics. Didn't the parents know that everyone loves surprises? See, that's the real surprise mechanic, is the parents get it. Because then they get they get their bill, their bank statement, and they realize that their kid, Billy, just decided to spend $3,000 trying to get Messi in FIFA. And the worst part about it is he didn't even get him. He didn't even get Messi, you know? Maybe he got Ronaldo, but not Messi. And yeah, so now the kid wants to buy more of them this month around. It's awful, right? He just murdered someone. He's a hired killer. He's not evil. He's just doing his job. If cigarette companies can't have cartoon mascots because they're designed to get kids to smoke, then game companies shouldn't be allowed to put loot boxes into kids' games because they're designed to get kids to gamble. Yeah, but it's like, how do you define a kid's game? It's like, I don't know. Like it's a lot more like, is it things with bright colors? Is it like, I mean, besides, like, obviously, like, Goofy or some sort of, like, fucking, I don't know, like, Disney game, it's very hard, really, to describe and, you know, draw that line. Our company, Blastworks, literally has a game called Slingo Casino and Slots by Gamehouse. Well, yeah, I mean, like, so gaming... What are all these? I think I have all these. Yeah, I have all these. Thank you very much, Rogue. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead. Let's do Old Deer. We have to get this done. Okay, Asmongold, Old Deer, Mythic, minimum item level. We're going to do 420. And let's get this done. Eternal Champions and Literal Gods only. Let's go. If they're already defining games as children games or not. Well, yeah, but like Overwatch, for example, isn't really a children's game. Like, I would not consider Overwatch a children's game, personally. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think it's a children's game. Like, everybody can, like, meme about it and say, like, oh, yeah, Overwatch is for kids, whatever. But realistically, it's not a children's game. It's fucking pop off, dude. ESRB decides what's a kid's game and what's not. Well, yeah, but there's a lot of games that are, like, let's say they're E for everyone, for example. And, like, is that the distinction that you're trying to talk about? Like, E for everyone, there's a lot of games that are E for everyone, like Mario, for example, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a children's game. Just because children are able to play it based off of the ESRB's regulation, E for yeah, exactly. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're fundamentally a children's game, if you know what I'm trying to say. So I don't know if that's really a very strong argument or not.